Good morning, dear children. Welcome to the class. Now we are moving to the next chapter, Flying Together. The title itself highlights the theme of the chapter. Can you guess that? Okay. You just try to read the picture. Many geese are seen on a huge tree. Among those, haven't you noticed one goose with a spectacles? Usually in such stories, an old wise animal is pictured like this, right? Moreover, one goose is pointing towards something too, isn't it? Okay. It's a good story which tells us 3 morals. You can find out the morals after reading the chapter, okay? Before going to the story, let's watch a video.
Be careful, kids! Rohan, don't touch that cactus! Ah! Granny! I have told you so many times to stay away from that cactus. Kids, come here now. Don't worry, Rohan. I will put turmeric on it. You will feel much better. Ria, please can you bring the turmeric? Kids, today's lesson is that we should always listen to our parents and all our elders. Those kids who do not listen to their elders always fall into trouble because our elders always think the best for us.
Please tell us a story and explain, Granny.
All right. You do remember Gorgy the elephant, don't you?
Yes.
Gorgy, remember to finish your tiffin and be home on time. I know how much you love playing and splashing about in water. Son, and please stay away from the river. That's right behind your school. You will remember, right?
Mama, who would dare to cross a mighty elephant like me? My name is Gorgy.
You should never forget, son. There are many more animals in our jungle that are stronger than you. Got it?
Okay, Papa. I will remember that. Bye, Mama. Bye, Papa.
We love to do crazy things. We all are very strong. Nobody can break our bond. We fly with free wings. La 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 la. We all have so much fun. Everybody in the sun. We love to do this every day. We love to dance and play.
Let's go, friends. Let's go and play in the river.
Not today, Gorgy. I'm going home.
Me too.
Me too.
Come on, DJ, let's go. These guys are too scared.
But I won't play in the river. I'm scared of going into the river.
Gorgy. And he's all alone? It's time for some fun.
Go, Gorgy!
Come on, boys.
Go, Gorgy!
DJ, help me! DJ, don't leave me! Come back! Mommy! Papa!
lucky today, Gorgie. But I'll come back for you. I'll come back for you, Gorgie. I'll come back for you.
Sorry, Papa. I will never disobey you in future. I will always listen to Mama and you.
That's okay, Gorgie. Next time be more careful. I'm so happy that DJ ran and came to me.
Hey!
I thought DJ got scared and ran away. Thanks, DJ.
I understood, Granny.
Very good. Because our parents and elders
Always think the best for us. Remember, we can make out 3 beautiful morals out of this one story itself. Let me read out the story once and you can watch another video which will tell us about the rest of the 2 morals. Okay? Now let me read it aloud. Flying together. Deep in a forest stood a very tall tree. Its leafy branches spread out like strong arms. This tree was the home of a flock of wild geese. They felt safe there. One of the geese was a wise old bird. He noticed a small creeper at the foot of the tree. He spoke to the other birds about it. "Do you see that creeper?" he said to them. "Let us destroy it." "Why must we destroy it?" asked the geese in surprise. "It's so small. What harm can it do?" "My friends," replied the wise old bird, "that little creeper will soon grow. As it creeps up this tree, it will become thick and strong." "What of that?" asked the geese. "What harm can a creeper do us?" "Don't you see?" replied the wise bird. "With the help of that creeper, it will be possible for someone to climb this tree. A hunter can come up and kill us all." "Well, there's no hurry," they replied. "The creeper is very small. It would be a pity to destroy it now." "Destroy the creeper while it is still young," the old bird advised. "Now it is tender and you can cut it easily. Later it will become hard and you will not be able to cut it." We'll see," answered the birds. But they did not destroy the creeper. They forgot the wise old bird's advice. As the creeper grew, it began winding its way up the tree. Stronger and stronger it became until it was as strong as a thick rope. One morning, when the geese had gone out in search of food, a hunter came to the forest. "So this is where the wild geese live," he said to himself. "When they come back in the evening, I shall catch them." The hunter climbed up the tree with the help of the creeper. He got to the top and spread his net there. Then he climbed down and went away. In the evening, the geese returned home. They did not notice the net. As they flew into the tree, they were trapped. They struggled hard to get out, but could not. "Help! Help!" cried the geese. "We are caught in the hunter's net. Oh, what shall we do?" "Don't make a fuss now," said the wise old bird. "Long ago I told you to destroy the creeper, but you did not. Now see what has happened. Tomorrow morning the hunter will come back and kill us all." "We were foolish," wept the birds. "We are very sorry we did not listen to you. Please tell us what to do." "Then listen carefully," replied the wise bird. "When the hunter comes, you must all pretend to be dead. Just lie still. The hunter will not want dead birds. He will throw us to the ground. It will then be easy for him to climb down, collect the dead birds, and take them home. When the last of us has been thrown down, we must quickly get up and fly away." In the morning, the hunter came to the tree and climbed up. He looked at the geese in the net. "They are all dead," he muttered to himself. He threw them out of the net one by one. The birds lay still until the last one had been thrown down. Then, all at once, they got up, flapped their wings, and flew away. The hunter was taken by surprise. From the top of the tree, he watched all the geese fly away. Okay, I think now the story is much more clear to you. Now we can move on to the second video, which will give you the morals. After that, we can see the story in detail. Okay?
The Pigeons and the Hunter. Once there lived a flock of pigeons. They flew from place to place in search of food. One day they flew a long distance. It was then a little pigeon found some grains spread on the ground. The folk were happy and flew down to the ground for feeding on the grains. Pigeons are so happy and they are enjoying the food. Yummy. It was then a net fell suddenly on them, trapping every bird in the fork. The net was a trap made by a hunter. The folks saw the hunter approaching them and they knew that they were all trapped. An elderly pigeon got an idea. He instructed the folk to pick up a portion of the net by each of them and fly up in the sky with all their strength. They flew off carrying the net with them.
Hey, come on! Stop! Hey, stop!
They flew and reached on the valley of a hill where a group of rats lived. The pigeons requested the help of rats to cut the nets off. As the hunter reached the site, the pigeons were all free and escaped.
Okay, dear children. One of the morals that we get from just watched story is unity is strength. Another important one is presence of mind can save us from a difficult situation. Flying Together is a retold version of one of the Panchatantra stories, A Wise Old Bird. Retold means telling the stories in one's own words. Once, many geese were living on a strong and healthy tall tree in a forest. A wise old goose was their leader. All of them felt very safe there since the tree was so high that no one could easily reach their nest. One day, after seeing a small creeper at the foot of the tree, the wise old goose advised the other young geese to pull out and destroy it, because with the help of that, a hunter can easily climb up there and kill them. He also reminded young geese that it is very easy to pull out a tender creeper. But the young geese were not ready to remove the creeper from the foot of the tree, since they felt that the small creeper could make no harm to them. Days passed. The geese forgot the matter about the creeper, and the creeper by this time had become strong and thick. It winded the tree till the top. One evening, as usual, when the geese were back to their nest after in search of food, they were caught in the net which was spread out by a hunter. All the geese tried hard to escape from the net, but could not. The young geese started crying. They felt sorry for not obeying the words of the wise old goose. They requested the wise old bird to save them from the trap. Then the old bird said about a trick in his mind. He advised the geese to pretend to be dead so that the hunter should feel them as useless. In order to take away his net, the hunter would throw the birds one by one to the ground. All the geese should pretend to be dead till the last one also be thrown away. The young geese agreed to obey the words of the wise old bird. The next morning, the hunter came and climbed up the tree with the help of the creeper. He was shocked to see the dead bodies of the geese. The hunter thought that the dead geese were of no use, so he threw them one by one on the ground. All the geese pretended to be dead till the last goose also was thrown on the ground. After that, all the geese flew together to the vast sky. The hunter was surprised after seeing the happily flying geese. Okay, dear children, I am sure that you understood and liked the story very much. Now, about the 3 morals. The first one, since the geese didn't obey the advice of the wise old bird, they had to risk their own lives. So, let's obey the words of our elders. About the second moral, though the geese were trapped in the net, the presence of mind of the wise old bird saved them. Presence of mind means how we are reacting in a situation. Here the wise old bird behaved in a wise manner. He put forth a trick so that they could save their life. Then about the third moral, of course, about the importance of teamwork. Here all the geese acted together as a team to outwit or to deceive the hunter, so that only they could save their lives. Okay, now let's have a look at the meaning of some words. When there is only one bird, we use the word goose, and when there are many, we use a flock of geese. A creeper is a plant that needs support to grow. Winding means go in circular or spiral course. Muttered, spoken in a low tone. Flapped means move wings up and down. Now we can discuss the questions and answers in the chapter Flying Together. The first question is, where did the geese live? The geese lived on a tall tree in a deep forest. The second question, why did the old bird advise the other birds to destroy the creeper? The old bird advised the other birds to destroy the creeper because in future, with the help of that thick and strong creeper, anyone could be reached the top of the tree and catch them. The third one, why did the geese cry, help, help? The geese cried, help, help because they couldn't escape from the hunter's net even though they struggled for the same. The fourth one, what did the hunter do when he thought that the geese were dead? When the hunter thought that the geese were dead, he threw them out of the net one by one. The fifth question is, why did the geese pretend to be dead? Answer is, the geese pretended to be dead because they wanted to outwit the hunter and to escape from the trap. Okay, now you are going to watch a video which will explain you the story. The Ant and the Dove. On his way home, an ant saw a sparkling fountain. He crawled onto its wall to take a closer look. Suddenly he slipped and fell into the water. He gurgled and panicked and waved his legs in the air. Help! I can't swim! He cried. Luckily, just at that moment, a friendly dove flew by. She saw that the tiny ant was drowning and quickly flew to a nearby tree. She pulled off a leaf and let it glide down to the ant. Here you are, she cooed and flew away. The ant, with the help of that leaf, came back to life. Okay, now let's try to answer some questions. Why do you think the dove helped the ant? The dove might have felt pity on the ant because it was drowning. Next one, how do you think the ant felt on finding the leaf? On finding the leaf, the ant felt very happy, right? If we are also in such a situation and if we find a way to escape from the situation, we will also feel the same. Have you ever been in trouble like the ant? Did anyone help you? Okay, do you remember the class on syllables? Shall we play a game?
Let's try the syllable clap. Clap with me as I say these words. Cat, sunset, radio, book, teacher, tractor. Let's try another way to find syllables. It's called robot speak. Let's say these words like the robot. Cat, sunset, tractor. Do you hear how we're chopping the words into pieces? Radio, book, teacher. Each new piece is another syllable. Let's say these words together again, but first put your hand below your chin like this. Pay attention to when your mouth opens and closes. Cat, sunset, tractor. Did you notice that your mouth opens whenever you say a vowel? Each time your mouth opens, you've said another syllable. Radio, that's 3 syllables. Book, that's just 1 syllable. Teacher, that's 2 syllables.
Okay, now let's concentrate in the chapter. Here are the words which you have to break into syllables. Where the word produces one sound, clap once, as in crepe. Clap twice if the word can be broken up into 2 syllables, as in creeper, and thrice as in tomorrow. Now let's check the other words. Struggled, geese, proud, foolish, possible, noticed, carefully, flat, return, evening, trapped, surprise. Next, we can move on to the grammar part. WH questions. This is a term used to refer to questions starting with WH and H. Examples: who, what, where, why, whose, when, how much, how many, how often, how long, etc. The following is a list of some WH questions, their meanings and sample sentences. Let's see the first one. Who? Who refers to a person. Example, who is your favorite singer? What refers to things, idea, information or action. What are you holding? Here the reference is about a specific thing. What are you thinking about? Here it denotes an idea. What kind of pet do you have? It gives an information. What are you doing? Asking about an action. Next is where. Where refers to a place. Where is the nearest hospital? Why is used to denote a reason. Why did you lie to your mom? When is used to denote time. When is Lisa's birthday? Next one, whose refers to a possession. Whose cap is this? Which is used to denote choice. Which pair of shoes do you like more? How refers to a manner. How did you convince her to come? How many is used to denote quantity for countable nouns. How many dogs does she have? How much is used to denote quantity for uncountable nouns. How much water do you need? Countable means things that we can count. 1, 2, 3 like that. Uncountable means we cannot count those things. How often is used to denote the frequency. How often does your grandma water her plants? How far is used to mention distance. How far is it from your house to the school? How old is used to make reference about age. How old is Mary's younger brother? How long is used to mention duration. How long should I answer this test? Let's see some exercises. Supply the correct WH question for the following sentences. Blank is flying the kite. Reference is about a person. So you have to add who. Who is flying the kite? Blank does Ben live? Here you have to mention the place. So the question word will be where. Where does Ben live? Next, blank Do you visit your grandparents? Here the reference is about frequency. So you have to use the word how often do you visit your parents? Next example, blank dress should I wear for the party? Here it is the choice. So you have to use which. Which dress should I wear for the party? Blank sugar should I put in your coffee? Since sugar is an uncountable noun, you have to use the question word how much. Then the sentence will be how much sugar should I put in your coffee? Next example is blank are you crying? Since asking for a reason, you can use why are you crying? Next, blank do you take a shower? It's a duration. To mention duration, you should use the question word how long. Then the sentence will be how long do you take a shower? Blank computer are you using? Here you have to mention the possession. So you should use the word whose. Then it will be whose computer are you using? Now let's see this exercise in the chapter, in the textbook. Use question words such as where, what, how, who, when and why. One is done for you. I watch TV in the evening. Amit, when do you watch TV? Anu, I play games. For getting this as the answer, you have to ask it as what do you play? Next answer is I collect stamps. For getting this as the answer, you have to ask question what do you collect? Next one, I play in the ground. So the question will be where do you play? The last one is on Sunday I go shopping. Here you can ask when do you go shopping? In this activity, you have to refer the context. The first sentence is, well, there is no hurry. The creeper is very small. It would be a pity to destroy it now. Based on this conversation, you have to mention who said these words to whom. The answers are, the words were said by the geese. To whom was it said? To the wise old goose. When was it said? When they were asked to remove the creeper. The second one is, so this is where the wild geese live. These words are spoken by the hunter. He said this to himself when he saw the home of a flock of wild geese. Now let's learn framing questions by using helping verbs. We have already talked about interrogative words like what, when, why, who, where, whom, which, whose and how. Apart from using these interrogative words, we can frame questions by using the helping verbs like do and be. For example, do you like reading? Children, as you all know, nouns are divided into singular and plural. Singular means there will be only one thing and plural means there will be many things. So, while framing questions, does is used with a singular subject. As in, does Rubel walk to school? Do is used with a plural subject and with pronouns you and I. As in, do you walk to school? And did is used with an action word in past form. As in, did Julie invite Vineet to the party? The forms of the helping verb be are is, are and am. Is used with a singular subject. As in, is Julie a good dancer? Are is used with a plural subject and the pronoun you. For example, are Nikki and Ricky coming to the party? Or are you dancing, Julie? And am is used only with the first person singular subject am. As in, am I coming to the market too? So, while doing this activity, for the given answers, you can frame questions like: what is the color of the ant? Where does it live? How many long antennae does it have? Where does it crawl? What does it eat? Respectively, for the answers, the color of the ant is black, it lives on land, it has 2 long antennae, it crawls on the ground, and it eats sugar. Let's see some more examples. Take the sentence, they write a letter. The question will be, what do they write? Because the verb is in the base form and the subject is in the plural form. So we need to use do. Do plus write will not make any change in the verb and it will be resulted in write itself. Another example, Meera plays violin. Here the subject is singular and the verb is in the present form. Here if you split the word plays, you will get does plus play. Play is the base form of the verb. So the question is, what does Meera play? The next one is, Ram went to school. The question will be, where did Ram go? Here the subject is singular and the verb is in past tense. So whenever you split a verb in past tense, it will go with did. So if you split the word went, it will be did plus go. Here go is the base form of the verb went. The base form of the verb means the verb with which no letter or word suffixed or prefixed.